Hello, everyone. Today, we will have a conversation with the talented leader Jeff Bezos, the founder and CEO of Amazon, one of the largest and most successful technology companies in the world. On the path to success, Jeff Bezos has made memorable statements about business, innovation, future vision, and approach us to life. These quotes not only demonstrate his intelligence and savvy in building a global company, but also provide inspiration and motivation for millions of people around the world. Let's now listen to the insightful and inspiring quotes of Jeff Bezos. Turn knowledge into power. You can't tolerate critics. Don't do anything new or interesting. Life's too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. We see our customers as invited guests to a party, and we are the hosts. It's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better. If you can't tolerate critics, don't do anything new or interesting. If you do build a great experience, customers tell each other about that. Word of mouth is very powerful. If you're competitor focused, you have to wait until there is a competitor doing something. Being customer focused allows you to be more pioneering. The best customer service is if the customer doesn't need to call you, doesn't need to talk to you. It just works. I think frugality drives innovation, just like other constraints do. One of the only ways to get out of a tight box is to invent your way out. It's not an experiment if you know it's going to work. The special ops guys and the firefighters around the world have this great phrase. They say, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast, and that is true. Everything I've accomplished in my life has been because of that attitude. Our motto at Blue Origin is Grad at Team Ferricider, step by step, ferociously. Amazon.com strives to be the e-commerce destination where consumers can find and discover anything they want to buy online. Real estate is the key cost of physical retailers. That's why there's the old saw, location, location, location. There are two ways to extend a business. Take inventory of what you're good at and extend out from your skills. Or determine what your customers need and work backward, even if it requires learning new skills. Kindle is an example of working backward. There are two kinds of companies, those that work to try to charge more and those that work to charge less. We will be the second. I strongly believe that missionaries make better products. They care more. For a missionary, it's not just about the business. There has to be a business, and the business has to make sense. But that's not why you do it. You do it because you have something meaningful that motivates you. Percentage margins don't matter. What matters always is dollar margins, the actual dollar amount. Companies are valued not on their percentage margins, but on how many dollars they actually make, and a multiple of that. Once you get into space, you can really unleash a lot of creativity. But the launch itself, I have been through all of the creative ways, and believe me, chemical rockets are the best. The thing that motivates me is a very common form of motivation, and that is, with other folks counting on me, it's so easy to be motivated. You know you're not anonymous on our site. We're greeting you by name, showing you past purchases, to the degree that you can arrange to have transparency combined with an explanation of what the consumer benefit is. Mediocre theoretical physicists make no progress. They spend all their time understanding other people's progress. Humans are unbelievably data efficient. You don't have to drive 1 million miles to drive a car, but the way we teach a self-driving car is to have it drive 1 million miles. We expect all our businesses to have a positive impact on our top and bottom lines. Profitability is very important to us, or we wouldn't be in this business. I've always been at the intersection of computers and whatever they can revolutionize. People will visit Mars, they will settle on Mars, and we should because it's cool. You know, we love stories and we love narrative. We love to get lost in an author's world. I don't know all the future steps, but I know one of them. We need to build a low-cost, highly operable, reusable launch vehicle. No matter which path we take, it has to include that gate, and so that's why that's Blue Origin's mission. The Apollo program certainly had no real commercial value. It was done for very different reasons, and I think very good reasons for the time. It's an extraordinary achievement of mankind, but it wasn't sustainable. A brand for a company is like a reputation for a person. You earn a reputation by trying to do hard things well. If you don't understand the details of your business, you are going to fail. What we need to do is always lean into the future. When the world changes around you and when it changes against you, what used to be a tailwind is now headwind. You have to lean into that and figure out what to do, because complaining isn't a strategy. We've had 3 big ideas at Amazon that we've stuck with for 18 years, and they're the reason we're successful. Put the customer first, invent, and be patient. What consumerism really is, at its worst, is getting people to buy things that don't actually improve their lives. The human brain is an incredible pattern-matching machine. I believe you have to be willing to be misunderstood if you're going to innovate. If your customer base is aging with you, then eventually you are going to become obsolete or irrelevant. You need to be constantly figuring out who your new customers are and what you are doing to stay forever young. A company shouldn't get addicted to being shiny, because shiny doesn't last. Question really is, are you improving the world? And you can do that in many models. You can do that in government. You can do that in a nonprofit, and you can do it in a commercial enterprise. If you only do things where you know the answer in advance, your company goes away. I think there are going to be a bunch of table-like devices. It's really a different product category. When it comes to space, I see it as my job. I'm building infrastructure the hard way. I'm using my resources to put in place heavy lifting infrastructure so the next generation of people can have a dynamic, entrepreneurial explosion into space. I'm a big fan of all-you-can-eat plans because they're simpler for customers. It is very difficult to get people to focus on the most important things when you're in boom times. Part of company culture is path dependent. It's the lessons you learn along the way. The solar system can support 1 trillion humans. And then we'd have 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins. The reason we chose vertical ending as our recovery architecture is that vertical ending scales really well. You don't want to negotiate the price of simple things you buy every day. I don't know about you, but most of my exchanges with cashiers are not that meaningful. Great industries are never made from single companies. There is room and space for a lot of winners. There'll always be serendipity involved in discovery. My view is there's no bad time to innovate. The common question that gets asked in business is, why? That's a good question, but an equally valid question is, why not? For people who are readers, reading is important to them.